This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
Welcome back, everybody. Kaplan and Crew, Alex Padilla, John Browner, and Jason Lawhead. We are and Crew. We're with you guys today. Scott back tomorrow, but we're here today, and we are brought to you by a new sponsor. Browner, have you got your MedCline pillow yet?
Yeah. How long did it take yours to get to your house?
A few days.
Okay.
Almost a week, I think. It is a very large package. This isn't like something that the mailman drops off. It's a very large package. It's like a big old box, and it comes in because I think you got the full experience, right? You got like the shoulder relief pillow, and you got the body pillow, probably.
I hope so.
So it comes in a bigger box, so it's gonna take some time.
I want.
But for you guys, the great
body
friends.
pillow.
Oh, Jason,
I need a body.
We can get you one.
Pillow.
We can get you one. MedCline. Are you a shoulder sleeper?
I am a shoulder sleeper, and I have a bad left shoulder because of it.
Well,
I'm here.
This is for you, my friend. This is for you. This is the MedCline
seriously
shoulder relief.
Keeps me up at night. Left shoulder. If I'm not
dude,
bad,
well,
I have to use Tory Holistics to go to bed.
Well,
so that's my sponsor.
I double dip now, dude. I do acid reflux pillow, which also has shoulder relief pillow, and I do Tory Holistics, so I sleep like a baby. But why don't you text Scott right now? And We'll get you a MedCline pillow. Go to kaplanandcrew.com, click that MedCline logo. 20% off for the great friends right now for either the shoulder relief, the body pillow, the acid reflux pillow. It works wonders for both those things. If you're a shoulder sleeper, like everybody on the show, I guess, is a shoulder sleeper. So go check it out. MedCline.com/greatfriends to get 20% off your purchase.
I'm so jealous of my wife because she's a back sleeper. She can sleep flat on her back or flat on her stomach, and she sleeps like a baby every night. Like she gets the best night's sleep, and I'm so jealous because I can look over at her sometimes and she's just like laying there flat and just
my wife doesn't let me sleep on my back because I snore.
That's so I've tried to sleep on my back, and it's the only time I snore. It's enough. It's not even bad, but it's enough where she's like, no, you're not sleeping on the back.
And if I sleep on my stomach, which I also can, I could sleep anyway. Really, I can. But the most comfortable is on my side. But if I sleep forward, this is disgusting. I wake up in like Lake Grande with all the drool coming out of me.
Yeah.
So like I try not to sleep on my stomach. I try not to sleep on my stomach because of that. So this new thing, it's very comfortable because you get the body pillow, so your head is like also tilted up. You put your arm in to the side. You like basically you don't need a wife at that point, Jason. You just you just spoon the body pillow.
Spoon with that, okay.
But it's like a peppermint, like it's like a it's like a cane, right? So when you hug the front, your back is also supported because it has an arch to it. It's super nice.
So it'll be the closest thing she lets me to have a threesome with her.
Pretty much
is getting this pillow is pretty much the way it's gonna happen.
Pretty much, dude. I it's great. So go check it out. kaplanandcrew.com.
I'm texting Scott at the next.
Click that MedCline. Really, dude. I mean, we got one for Browner. It's coming.
I'm gonna, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a local company too here in San Diego,
great.
and the founder, I believe he was a huge 1090 listener.
Okay.
To the point where he used to prank call Hacksaw.
Wow.
Yeah,
really.
And I produced Hacksaw for a year, so I always loved a good prank call. But I guess what he used to do is because Hacksaw's catchphrase was "I know everything about everything" or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy would call him and ask him about a Padres prospect.
So
Jack
he was trying. His
Cobb.
prank was to always stump him on the
right. But Hacksaw would lie through his teeth and be like, "Oh yeah, Jack Cobb. Let me tell you about this guy. He's a great. He'll just go off about it. So go check it out." Speaking of baseball, I guess. Either of you tune in last night to Japan versus Mexico? No, still can't get you guys to even remotely tune in.
Sorry,
it's
barking up the wrong tree, man.
I know we are, but tonight, soon, starting at 4:00, Japan beat Mexico last night. So now they're in the World Baseball Classic final against Team USA. It was supposed to be Yu Darvish starting for Japan, but now he will be piggybacking off the starter that Japan swapped to. I don't know why they did that, but Yu Darvish will be the second pitcher out of the bullpen for Team Japan tonight. Shohei Ohtani was asked, "Are you going to be available to pitch?" And Ohtani said, "I'm hopeful to get some runs on the board before we need me, but if they need me, and I'll be available." So we could see an Ohtani Trout at the end of a ball game tonight. That would be amazing to see. This is his this is as close to the playoffs as they're ever going to be. So enjoy Ohtani and Trout. Actually, someone said that too for the Dodgers. David Peralta, did he say that? He's like, this is as close as I've ever gone to a playoff baseball field, and it was amazing. People have absolutely loved it. Jason, I'm going to play you guys what happened last night in Miami. Mexico was winning 5-4, bottom of the ninth. Gallegos, who's a pitcher for the Cardinals, was pitching for Mexico. Just could not get anybody out. Ohtani got a double to lead off the inning, walks another batter. Third batter comes up. This is what it sounded like in Japan as Japan walked off Mexico.
Wow. That was fun.
Yeah, I don't know what was said, but it sounded awesome and it sounded exciting, and it was exciting. It was one of the most exciting games of the tournament by far. Mexico jumped out to a 3-0 lead. Former Padres Luis Urias hit a 3-run home run. Japan tied it up with a huge home run. Mexico then came back, scored 2 in the next inning. Randy Arozarena, who I've talked about before. Browner, I know you don't care, but a lot of people have been tweeting me about this. A lot of people have been tweeting me about this tournament so far. Randy Arozarena, if you don't know who this guy is, he plays for the Tampa Bay Rays. He was a star in the World Series in the COVID year against the Dodgers. He's on a 1-year deal with the Rays at $4.65 million. If the Rays stink, this guy's going to get traded to a contender, and he's such a clutch player. He's played for Team Mexico. He robbed a home run yesterday. I don't have the video that wasn't authorized by Fox, or I'd show it to you where you get taken down on YouTube. A Japan player hits a freaking like moonshot, right? It looks like it's going to hit the roof of the Miami Marlins Stadium. Arozarena robs him of a home run, literally stares at the camera for like 30 seconds without moving, throws the ball back in. This is 1 out in the inning. Starts signing autographs for people in the outfield.
Come on.
It was freaking hilarious. John Smoltz hated it, by the way, but who cares? People don't like John Smoltz in this tournament. He has no fun in the broadcast booth. It was great. It was a great game, and I'm hopeful that tonight is a great game. I know neither of you will be tuning in, but a lot of people have tuned in and attended the World Baseball Classic.
Actually, if I could find the Japanese feed, I might watch that. That was entertaining. I might watch the Japanese feed with their announcers. But maybe I'll tune in a little bit. It's 4:00 right here on the West Coast.
4:00.
Yeah,
Yes,
you
sir.
know what? I got a lot of time between that show. Maybe I'll probably watch a little bit of at least the finals, knowing that the USA's in it and the types of players that Japan has is intriguing enough, right? So they've got some, high-end major league players, obviously with Darvish and Ohtani just at the top of that list. But yeah, I might give it a look-see since it's
So
a
there
one-game
is
elimination.
It may not be as massive in the United States, but it is massive around the world. There is a chance that this game tonight could be the most watched baseball game in the history of baseball, and that includes all World Series. Japan specifically has been tuning in like crazy to this
Oh, I
series.
bet.
Japan versus Korea got 55 million viewers in Japan. Japan versus Italy got 62.5 million viewers. The most watched World Series game in the history of baseball was 54.5 million in 1980. Tonight in Japan, US, I have no idea how many people are going to watch this thing here in the United States.
These numbers are these conflated numbers of how many people are watching in Japan. No one cares here, man. Look,
I know. That's literally
the
what
amount
I said.
of people,
That's
how
literally
many
I started
people are
that
watching
sentence.
here? They're barely getting 1 million people here. The average American baseball game barely draws 300,000 viewers. That's because there's one city rooting for their specific team, and some cities have 2 teams. So it's not a shocker that this is blowing out the ratings when it comes to viewers of baseball. Because if it's America versus Japan, all of America, every baseball fan in America who likes this thing will watch it because it's the U.S. versus Japan. It's not Pittsburgh versus Japan.
Right.
Like, I don't get why people are taking these ratings and flying them like a flag as a sign that this thing is working. It's entertaining for people who like baseball.
In the group play of games, the games attendance was over 1 million fans in the opening round of games. That's up 98% versus the 2017 attendance. The average game attendance was 26,000, which is up 24% from 2017. And the games that the US attended, just the US games, was 300,000. That was up 81% versus 2017. So people are going. I mean, listen, and Browner, I understand what you're saying. And that's why I started off my sentence by saying I don't know how many people in the US care about it, but I know that globally, this is probably really good for the game of baseball in general if it's this massive globally.
And baseball's got to find something, right? So they've got to find something. So they've got to try to create an atmosphere where they're telling the rest of the world, you know, you have some really great major league ball players, and they're going to come into this scenario for this World Baseball Classic, and it's going to uplift the sport. And maybe around the world, the Otanis in their imprint in Major League Baseball does bring a bit more of a global crowd. And even a team like, you know, Mexico or other countries that maybe Japan played, and they're like, wow, Ohtani, that guy's amazing. Well, you can watch him play for the Angels if you get the Major League Baseball package.
The starting pitcher for the Mexico yesterday played for the Angels, and he was incredible. He's so good yesterday. I mean, that guy's never been on a stage that big before. As big as if 300,000 people are watching Angels games,
right?
And you got 1.5 million people watching this game. That's a massive platform for this dude pitching for the Angels yesterday. You know what I mean? Like, so I get Browner. I know that baseball is a regional sport. I won't argue with you on that. But I think that this tournament isn't a regional thing, and that's great for baseball. They need something. And I know you've said over and over and over, nobody cares about this thing. It's the Olympics. This ain't have been around since 1800 or whatever. This is the 5th one ever. But I think that this one, despite the injuries, is proving to basically the country is not going anywhere. It's going to be around every 4 years.
Well, globally, you just mentioned the numbers. I mean, they're undeniable. What you just went with the litany of numbers you just went through. And then I'm very surprised that just where America's attendance itself in that doesn't surprise me that globally all of that interest has gone up.
Okay.
But man, that 80% that you mentioned was just in America was you know, pretty impressive.
Have it in Japan and see how many people watch it. To me, that'll be the true signal whether or not this works. Have it in a country like Japan where baseball is very, very popular. Very popular in Japan. Have this event in Japan where they have the stadiums, they have the hotels, they have the infrastructure to sustain something like this. Have it in Japan and see how many people watch it. Obviously, people are going to go to it over there.
What do you mean?
They love baseball there.
But what does that mean?
If you played the World Baseball Classic in Japan, right, and it came on the TV here at some crazy time, would people watch it? I'm telling you they wouldn't.
Oh, that I don't know. I mean, the games were in Japan. Half the tournament is in Japan.
That's all I'm saying.
I mean, half the tournament was in Japan. What do you want
Give me those numbers.
That already happened.
Give me those numbers.
I just did.
At night?
The game started at like 3 in the morning, 7 in the morning. Half the tournament started in Japan, right?
Yes. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so what are you saying? So what are you saying? Host the final in Japan?
Yep. Nobody watched it. Nobody watched it when it was early.
Okay, I don't know what you're trying to argue. All I'm saying is tonight, U.S. versus Japan. I'll be tuning in 4 o'clock. By the way, Browner, you won't care about this either. Shohei Ohtani has had the biggest blow up on social media since March 1st. Shohei Ohtani has gained 1.36 million new followers on social media.
That's crazy that this guy was supposed to be the most talented baseball player in the history of baseball, and no one knew who he was.
Because he's not trying to be known. He's not a Kardashian. He's not he's not out making TikTok video. He's, people are just being like, wow, he's so undeniable. But even the people that aren't seeking out sports or looking for who to follow in the sports world are being thrust into this guy's world because he's that undeniable.
Well, we'll see what happens tonight. It should be a fun one. I'll be tuning in. I haven't sat down for 3.5 hours to watch a baseball game since the playoffs. It was nice to kind of get back in the rhythm of it. I'm very much ready for opening day to come on Thursday, and I'll be all in on the Padres. However we watch them, I don't know where channel they will be on. I don't know if they'll be on a channel, but this whole bankruptcy thing has gone ugly.
And too close to the season.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like baseball is ready to come in and take over for Bally's or whatever, Diamond Sports Group and Sinclair Group, whoever owns Bally's, it looks like baseball is ready to take over. Although the Diamond Sports Group is fighting to keep them. I don't know why, because according to all reports, that the San Diego Padres cost Diamond $20 million a year annually because they pay more than what they bring in. So I don't know where we're going to be watching opening day, boys, but
didn't they
we'll
say
watch
the
it
Padres?
somewhere.
Didn't they say the Padres lost $2 million on this deal?
Padres are not collecting any revenue because Diamond isn't paying them.
But it cost Diamond $20 million to broadcast it?
It costs $60 million a year to broadcast a regional sports team. That's what they're charging.
Oh, okay.
And the Padres only brought in $40 million last year in revenue, so they lost $20 million on the Padres specifically.
Gotcha.
From my understanding of the reports that I'm reading, which is why Diamond is hemorrhaging money, because then they're not broadcast on YouTube TV, they're not broadcast on Hulu TV, so
they pay the Padres $60 million to broadcast the games, but commercial revenue was only $40 million coming in, basically.
If Diamond is saying we lost $20 million annually,
basically
then
that's basically the nuts and bolts of the numbers.
Right.
Yeah,
and they have a contract through 2032, so
they can't hemorrhage that. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And the Padres own 20% of the television network. So it's all a complex thing. I don't really know how it's going to play out, how it's going to pan out. I do know that opening day is coming on next Thursday, and that's going to happen regardless. I don't know who the opening day starter is going to be. If Yu Darvish goes out there and pitches 5-6 innings, he'll be ready to go by Thursday.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
It's got to be you. It's got to be Yu Darvish opening day, right?
Yeah, it's a week from Thursday.
And due to the injury to Joe Musgrove, I'm almost positive it will be.
It's got to be Darvish.
Right. Unless something goes catastrophic tonight, it should be Darvish.
All the strophics.
All the strophics. Will Juan Soto be in the opening day lineup?
Yikes if he's not, man. Yikes if he's not.
Will Austin Nola be in the opening day lineup?
Yes. That face will heal. He got time. That face will be all right.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see because Tatis isn't going to be in the opening day lineup. And if Soto isn't in the opening day lineup, what's your outfield look like at that point?
Rough.
You throwing Matt Carpenter out there. You throwing Nelson Cruz's old ass out there. Like, how do you maneuver? Is it Azakar probably? Azakar probably gets an opening.
Azakar will definitely get some swings. Yeah.
Was it Brandon Dixon? He was on the Padres roster during the postseason last year. I don't know, but that's big questions. So if Juan Soto is not available because of his oblique injury, which we have had no news whatsoever, which frightens me. When there's no news with the Padres, that is scary. There has been absolutely no news, so we will see what happens.
Has the entire opening day roster been?
No.
Right. So there's still some finishing.
They don't have to do that till opening day.
Right. Exactly. I just didn't know if they had announced that.
Right.
Yeah. That doesn't have to be done until.
I wonder if this abdominal issue for Soto came from swinging so hard so quickly at the World Baseball Classic in such an intense moment, and then going to spring training.
He got hurt with the Padres.
Yeah.
Don't try and tie 2 and 2 together.
No. Just asking questions.
This wasn't his first game back either. This was in a B game in the backfields of Padres in Peoria. He came back, played on Saturday. Absolutely nothing happened. He gets hurt on Sunday in the backyard game in a B game.
Correct. Now you keeping up. Now you see what I'm saying. He got hurt in a B game, something where he wasn't going, quite frankly, probably full speed. Now all of a sudden,
so he should be going full speed at all times.
After tuning your body like that,
according to you, it don't matter. He got paid when he was getting paid by the Padres.
So I'm okay with it now. Did you hear me say? Are you hearing me complain about the injury?
No. But that's what I said. So you're good with it. That's what I said. So you're good with it.
No problems with it. No problem.
Don't get so defensive. I'm prefacing all my statements before you can jump on me. I'm telling you. Yeah, I know.
As long as you do it that way, we all right.
Austin Nola breaking his nose, all good. It happened in a Padres uniform.
Yep.
Adrian Morejon tearing his elbow up, all good. Happened in a Padres uniform.
Good with it.
Joe Musgrove, I don't know. I don't know if he was wearing a Padres uniform, but he was in the Padres complex.
He was probably wearing like a Padres shirt or some shorts.
Sure.
A jersey or something.
Yeah,
Like a basketball jersey.
Property of San Diego Padres, something like that. One of those.
One of them like sweat workout shirts with the long
XXL.
sleeves.
Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Well, when we come back, we got to talk to you guys about the Sweet 16. The money line and bettors are moving away from San Diego and more towards Alabama. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about how Nick Saban threw the Alabama basketball coach under the bus, which I found absolutely hilarious yesterday. And our colleague Rich Eisen had Jay Billis on to talk about Alabama, San Diego State. He had some interesting things to say about that matchup. We are brought to you by MedCline, our new sponsor. Welcome, MedCline. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. Click on the MedCline logo, and you're going to get 20% off your purchase at MedCline, either the shoulder relief pillow, the acid reflux pillow, the body pillow, or a combination of both. Go to kaplanandcrew.com. Click on the MedCline logo, and you're going to get 20% off your purchase at MedCline. Browner's going to get one soon. Me and Scott already have one, and Lawhead's going to get one soon, and we're all going to be better sleepers together. While not sleeping together. Right. But we're all going to be sleeping better together.
Yes.
Time out.
Talk about San Diego State when we come back. This is Kaplan and Crew. Go to Kaplan and Crew.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Dominating the SoCal radio airwaves for over 20 years. Join Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner for Kaplan and Crew every Monday through Friday, 3 to 6 p.m. Only on the mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the mightier1090.com.
An ADU is accessory dwelling unit, and it's become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
Hey, Hoop fans, it's Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Breaking Down the Madness. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local team all the way to the Final Four. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we break down the madness right here on Your View.
Breaking Down the Madness is brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We make it easy.
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray Lambert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylambert.com for your consultation.
The #1 disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Listen to the Mike Greenberg Show, 7 to 9 a.m. Pacific, Monday through Friday. Greeny brings his unmatched depth of sports knowledge, fun, and entertainment back to ESPN on a daily basis. The Mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk, and the Mightier1090.com. We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the Mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Hey, Hoop fans, it's Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Breaking Down the Madness. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local team all the way to the Final Four. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we break down the madness right here on Your View.
Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and find your big fitness energy in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone. Deal in soon. See Home Club for details.
The number one disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need. Service dogs can range anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000, $40,000. And for someone getting out of the military that's seeking support and help, having that sort of price tag is daunting. So we really wanted to be able to support the veterans to make sure that they're getting a dog that they need in their life at no charge.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us. So I found Shelter the Soldier online, and I reached out, and somebody contacted me within 24 hours. And in the next couple of weeks, I was already in the program meeting dogs.
Your View Community Spotlight is brought to you by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Flood.
An ADU is an accessory dwelling unit, and has become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray Lambert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
For many consumers, sleeping at night should be an easy experience. For many, it's not. There are a number of reasons for that. Most notably, those that suffer from acid reflux or heartburn. There are also many individuals dealing with various pains or ailments. MedCline is a sleep solution company with our goal to allow people to have a healthy and peaceful night's sleep. And we do that with our therapeutic side sleeping systems. Our patented, clinically studied MedCline relief systems are designed to place an adult in an elevated side sleeping position, which can help them reduce the symptoms or issues they're dealing with. MedCline systems are registered with the FDA, and as a medical product, MedCline systems are qualified for use with FSA and HSA funds. For anyone looking for more information, you can visit medcline.com/sleepbetter.
I was injured in a car crash. I had no idea how much my case was worth. I called the Barnes firm.
When a truck hit my son, I had so many questions about his case. I called the Barnes firm. It was the best call I could have made.
Your case is often worth more than insurance offers. Call the Barnes firm to find out what your case could be worth. We will help you get the best result possible.
The Barnes firm. Injury attorneys. Call 1-800-8-million.
Since 1975, San Diegans have trusted the Murray-Lampert family for their home remodeling projects. We continue our commitment to deliver high-quality home remodeling and construction to our customers without an expensive showroom.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring value to your home, our team has the experience to handle everything. Plus, our strong relationships with the city makes adding on easier for homeowners.
Visit murraylampert.com for your consultation.
Hey, Hoop fans, it's Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Breaking Down the Madness. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local team all the way to the Final Four. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we break down the madness right here on Your View.
Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and find your big fitness energy in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone. Deal in soon. See Home Club for details.
An ADU is accessory dwelling unit and has become one of the most popular solutions to housing in the United States. We constructed this to provide housing for my mother, who is elderly.
Well, I wanted to downsize. At my age, that's what I wanted to do. Eric engaged the services of Murray-Lampert, a top building company.
This is an 825 square foot structure, but it actually looks more like 1,000 because of the spatial considerations. Micah was great. He took the ball and ran with it and came up with this really great combination.
It always appealed to me, high ceilings. It gives a sense of space, of openness, and I like that. Oh, I would give this experience a 10 for sure. Plus, 10 plus.
Learn about the many health benefits of MedCline pillows, from easing shoulder pain, reflux relief, and just getting a great night of sleep. Watch Your Health only on Your View, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. Brought to you by MedCline. Sleep better, feel better, live better.
The number one disease in the world, according to World Health Organization, is dental disease. For 25 years, we've had one of the most leading group dental practices in the country. Imagine you're a parent, you're a mom or a dad, and you have a 2-year-old that doesn't get any cavities, and you have a 12-year-old that has a soda habit and gets a ton of cavities. Well, how do you determine what oral care products to get? It's really mind-boggling that currently there does not exist an oral care product company that specializes for kids. So we thought this is a great opportunity to get into that space and revolutionize oral care for kids. We have every single product that every parent needs for every person in that family. It's very comprehensive. The next thing is we customize your oral care products. Someone who has a lot of gum disease probably requires different sets of oral care products that someone has a very, very healthy mouth. And it's also conveniently shipped to your home every 3 to 6 months. Make sure you go to supermouth.com and check out all the educational content. And of course, check out our profile builder to get the right products for every family member.
Take a look at all of this.
Culture, lifestyle, food. Oh, and the food.
Hey everybody, it's JR Cardenas. Join Vanessa Ramirez and I as we celebrate all this y más on Su Vida.
Every week, we'll bring you the latest in entertainment, culinary arts, music, people, and community, all with that Hispanic twist. Watch Su Vida Sunday and Monday night only on Your View.
Welcome back. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew Show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, John Browner, and Alex Padilla.
Welcome back, everybody. This is Kaplan and Crew with Just a Crew, Jason Lawhead, John Browner, and myself. I almost said Scott Kaplan. Alex Padilla with you guys today. Scott's back tomorrow. Jason live from Las Vegas, where he will be performing at the Laugh Factory in the Tropicana starting tomorrow or today.
Last night, yeah, two last night
Oh.
already. So we do. This place never closes. This place is open 365 all day. There's 2 shows on Christmas, Thanksgiving. I've worked Thanksgiving before, so 2 shows every night, 8:30, 10:30.
Is this the kind of show that you test stuff, or this is the kind of show that you're like, all right, I got my stuff, I'm just gonna like perfect it for the
Actually, this week I'm testing it. So I'm usually the middle act, right? There's 3 acts: opening, middle, headliner. And so when I requested a while back to Harry, I was like, hey man, if there's any openings you have in the March weeks of March Madness, I'd love to get out there, golf season, spring. And he's like, hey man, I got the opening, the MC for this week. He goes, oh yeah, I'll still hook you up with the same pay I always give you for, I'm like, cool, man. And I said, that'll be great. So this is actually, I'm using these shorter sets in the beginning to work on a lot of new stuff.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Who are
so
you
this is-
opening for?
So the headliner tonight, tomorrow, and Wednesday is a woman named Kira Sultanovich. Very, very funny. I've known Kira for a long time. When I lived in LA, I used to work a lot with Kira at like improv, just spots, different shows, Comedy Magic Club. She's a great headliner. And she's here tonight, tomorrow, and tomorrow. And then Ocean Glapian.
What a name.
Yeah. Only worked with him once before. Very funny guy. And he'll be headlining the Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday shows. Spencer James is in the middle spot. Very funny dude. Local guy, lives in Vegas. And I've met him before. And he's doing the middle the whole week with us. So him and I are here all week. Usually I'm the middle guy in Vegas. But I'm taking advantage. This is a fun. Last night I had a blast just going out cold, talking to the crowd a little bit. And I'm looking forward to the whole week of that and working on some new stuff. And I got a new infrastructure joke, which was kind of funny. So that landed. That was pretty cool. Browner, you'll like this one. I'm not saying the infrastructure is bad in United States, but the Underground Railroad was safer to take than these railroads they got us riding on now. Come on, folks.
Really good.
Harry.
You have a bit about how chicken tastes better when you leave it out and don't put it in the fridge overnight.
No, but maybe I have a lot of shows this week to cover. So maybe I'll get to that one.
Dude, why don't you like have someone record you and just your set is you just read Browner's 8 elite hot takes and see
People
what
would
the
just be
reaction.
like, people would be like, "Hey, somebody get this guy some help.
Yeah.
What is this guy doing?" Chickens and ducks are the same. What's this guy?
Is that guy sober?
Yeah, you do the old school like. I
Yeah.
mean, what is it with chickens and ducks? They're just
Yeah, I can do the old
birds.
Seinfeld. What is going on with chickens and ducks?
Yeah. What's going
They
on with
basically
McDonald's?
are the same.
Yeah. You might get booed off the stage if you say
Maybe.
McDonald's.
I
better than
mean, I've
In-N-Out.
seen them next to each other on a menu, huh? Come on,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah, that's hilarious. So go check it out. If you're in Las Vegas or going to Las Vegas for March Madness, Jason will be there all weekend through Sunday. 2 shows, 8:30, 10:30. Go check it out. Tropicana, if you're there, Laugh Factory. Fellas, let's get into what's happening. It feels like because the San Diego State game isn't until Friday, I feel like it's big. I feel like we're leading up to something. I feel like we're leading up to almost like a Super Bowl kind of feel, because you have all week to talk about one game. And it is the biggest game probably in Brian Dutcher's career as a head coach, because this could really define who he is as a head coach and the legacy that he'll leave at San Diego State. Getting it further than Steve Fisher ever did is no small accomplishment, at least at San Diego State, not with Michigan. That would be massive if the apprentice, the guy that was the head coach in waiting for a decade, took a team further than his, lack of a better term, Master Qui-Gon-ish was like that he ever did. This would be incredible if Brian Dutcher's able, because not only are you going to make it further than any team in the history of San Diego State has ever made it, you would knock off the number 1 overall seed. The number 1 overall seed in the tournament. I think they are the favorite to win the tournament. And you're knocking off a player who, by all reports, not only is a lottery pick, this dude could be a top 5 pick in Brandon Miller.
Easily.
It would be an incredible thing if Brian Dutcher and the Aztecs are able to pull off that win on Friday. It feels really big. Maybe it's because I'm such a big Aztec supporter, But the line has now moved, folks. Yes, they opened. Why do I keep saying folks today? When I'm sick, is that just what I say? Yesterday, the line was at 7. It opened at 7, and now Alabama has moved up to a 7.5-point favorite. What does that mean? That means that the bets are coming in on Alabama. It means that the bets are coming in on Alabama. They're now minus 355, plus 278 for the Aztecs. If I was in Vegas, Jason, maybe I'll Venmo you some money.
I was just about to say that, Jason. I may be Venmoing you $100 to put on
because
the Aztecs.
plus 278 on San Diego State. Kind of like that. Kind of like that a lot. Friday, 3 p.m., Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, I thought from the beginning San Diego State had a favorable bracket. I mentioned that, I think, when I filled in for you, Grande, when you were coming back from Vegas. We did the show with Scott, and we were looking at the bracket. And even with Virginia there, I thought, the Virginia style of play is beatable. I don't care how good they are. They're always beatable because they play in the 50s.
Who they
60s.
have.
They got knocked out, right? They got knocked out. And so that was favorable. I even thought just seeing them in that matchup would have been favorable for San Diego State. The 1 seed Alabama, yes, they are the overall one. They should be the overall one. They should be the favorite. They're very, very good. But guess what? They're not your typical in that position 1 seed. This isn't the Alabama football program. This is the Alabama basketball program. So the big lights will be on, and they're a little cocky. Maybe that's good for them, but it also could be detrimental to a team that hasn't been there before. Maybe a little bit of more cockiness than confidence, and San Diego State can catch this team being a little cocky. Look, I love the San Diego State team. I'm so happy for Brian Dutcher, and if they're going to knock off a number 1 seed, this is the time to do it. I think that, yes, Alabama is good, but I watched them intently in their first 2 games, and especially against Corpus Christi, who totally was outmanned. But what Alabama did against Corpus Christi is they got greedy on defense. They got into foul trouble, at least team foul trouble. They were in bonuses early on both halves against a 16 seed. Yeah. So if San Diego State can take care of the basketball, right? We're talking you can't have more than 10 or 11 turnovers in this game total, and that's only if you make free throws. You got to shoot north of 70% from the line, turn the ball over around that 10 number, 11 no more, and in the SEC, they haven't seen a lot of physical defenses. Tennessee, perhaps, but Alabama really hasn't seen the type of size, strength, and type of man around the basket and the types of way San Diego State can guard the perimeter with physicality, with Bradley and these guys. So that'll be something I think Alabama definitely hasn't seen in the first 2 games. Didn't see a lot in the SEC outside of a couple of schools, Tennessee being the really big, only physical team I think you could compare San Diego State to in that conference that comes after you. So look, it's going to be a big feat, but I don't think that it's too big of an ask for this team to at least be in the game in that last 5 or 6 minutes to have a chance to say, can you execute more than them? Can you make your free throws? Can you not turn it over? Can you create turnovers? And, hey, throw everything at them. Maybe Dutcher has a little bit more experience with what he's been through his whole career with Steve Fisher and the things he's seen as an assistant and the way he's grown as a head coach. Maybe they have a little advantage there in the head coaching position. Maybe they have a little advantage in physicality. Obviously, playmakers and scorers, Alabama has all that, no doubt. But I like this matchup. And I tell you, the further that number goes up in the plus and the spread, hey, that could be fool's gold for the better, thinking Alabama's just going to cruise through this game.
Browner yesterday said that for the first, did you say for the first time you thought San Diego State could beat Alabama because of how they looked on Saturday against Furman?
I said this, I will firmly repeat this again. Not that they can beat Alabama. That's a national championship team. The way that they play defense, the last 3 halves, the last half of the first round and the entire game of the second round, you can duplicate that. Making shots come and go. Rhythm of shooting, rhythm of offense is a total thing that comes and goes. It ebbs and flows as the game goes. Defensive effort, physicality, boxing out, and hustle can be duplicated every single game. And if they can take that against against Alabama, because I don't think Alabama has seen that level of physicality on defense at that level of skill this season.
Tennessee's the only team you can compare them to in the SEC.
Even close. And so when you seeing that in a tournament game, let a couple minutes not go right. Let the shots not go down. Let Miller's hamstring or quad or whatever it is starts acting up. Now you get that guy out. They might be Furman.
You bring up Tennessee. Tennessee was ranked the third best defense this year as far as points allowed, and they lost that game. Tennessee beat Alabama 68-59. So to your point,
right?
Jason,
and that's where look at that score, and that's the score. That score is the way Aztecs are going to win the game. If the score is 64-59, 65-60, whatever it is, anything more than that, good night, because that's where it's going to be points in the paint, right? And points in the paint mean was San Diego State able to get the ball inside, get scores inside around the basket, and negate Alabama in transition? Because if Alabama outscores you in points in the paint, it's going to be because they've been getting layups off steals and misses and runs, and they're taking it end to end. But if San Diego State can win the battle of points in the paint, it's going to be because they pounded inside, or they got second chance points around the basket, and they got the stick backs, and they've got to make those free throws when they get fouled down in the paint. Can they shoot well enough from the line that they don't turn the ball over and they don't miss free throws, because those are empty possessions when you do that. They can't have more empty possessions than Alabama has.
Yeah, for me, I think it comes down to Brandon Miller. How healthy is he? He played 19 minutes in the first round, didn't score. He's dealing with a groin injury. And he had a terrible shooting game in their second round. I believe he was 5 of 17, if I remember correctly, against Maryland. And yeah, he put up points, but he was not very good. He wasn't effective, at least. So if you could stop him somehow, if he's not 100% healthy, San Diego State does have the type of player that you think could be able to guard. They do have 2 defensive players of the year, and Nathan Mensah and Lamont Butler on their team. They do have a lot of size, San Diego State. I don't think they've ever played against a individual better player than Brandon Miller this year. And San Diego State, when playing against top 25 teams, have not been good. They're 0-2 this year. They lost to Arizona. They lost to Arkansas, even though they gave away the game to Arkansas, and that was very early. That was in the Maui Invitational. So a lot has changed. I agree with you guys. I think if San Diego State plays their best game, they have a chance to win. But they have to play their best game.
Other big key is Parrish has to be the best player off the bench in the game for both teams. If he's the best player that comes off the bench in both games, that is a huge plus for them.
Here is Jay Billis on Rich Eisen yesterday talking about how good Alabama is.
He can defend. He rebounds well. He gets his own misses a lot. Quick to the ball, and he can really shoot it. He's got deep range, a quick release, even though it's not a high release. He's the real deal. He's the best college player, and I think the best pro prospect. But they've got a bunch of pro prospects on that team. Alabama is uber talented. And it's almost like they've got 2 players at every position. You know, they can bring Damari Burnett off the bench, and he can really defend. And Jaden Bradley, he was their starting point guard. Now Javon Quinterly started. They've got a lot of options. They play like an NBA team. They space the floor, kind of like the Houston Rockets did when James Harden was there, or the Milwaukee Bucks now. They're not hugging the 3-point line. They're 5 feet beyond it, so they can step into a 3. And if you don't guard the ball against them and they get penetration and force help, they're kicking it out to 3-point shooters, and they can make 10 or 12 in a game. And Brandon Miller, I mean, he's had 40, 32. I think he had 36 against Gonzaga, had 41 against South Carolina. He hadn't even played his best in the tournament because of a groin injury, but they're the best team. Now, whether the best team wins this thing, it doesn't always happen that way. But they have the best balance of big-time offense, and they can really defend the rim.
I find it interesting that they can nail 10 to 12 threes a game. I feel like that's kind of probably what San Diego State wants them to do. Like, if you're forcing them to make 10 or 12 threes a game, that's a good thing. They're not. That means they're ineffectively driving the ball in and getting it in the paint.
Exactly. And if you can get those threes to come late in the shot clock, if you can get those threes to be threes that they're not really dictating, but they're almost kind of just taking to bail themselves out of a possession. Those are the kind of threes, wearing a team down, making them take a tired 3, a long 3, late in the shot clock 3. That's the recipe. Let them shoot a lot of threes, but make them tough ones, earn them, and not the kind of threes that they're just, one extra pass hitting the open man. Where is everybody? And this guy's got a wide open look. You can't have those kind of threes going up because they'll make those.
You gotta listen to what he's saying, which I found to be very informative. The way he described him, he described him as if they hadn't lost the game all year. They got two guys at every position. They can shoot deep from behind the line. All that might be true when you're looking at through rose-colored glasses. Every team has a pressure point where they can be defended in a way that the game becomes difficult for them. San Diego State has the ability to do the one thing he said that what you're going to have to do against them, guard the ball. They do that.
Mm-hmm.
They guard the ball. So this idea that Rich Eisen has a massive show, shout out to our network brother, Jay Billis is a college basketball guy. He won't go down the list of things that San Diego State can do because that's not what they brought him on the air to do.
Right.
I'm telling
you. And he's
you,
an ESPN guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He's an ESPN guy. Look,
Alabama is ripe to be beat by San Diego State for all the reasons we've been talking about here. And the reasons he brought up in that interview. You need to defend the ball and they can make 10 to 12 threes. San Diego State wants you to do that because it's going to be hard to out-rebound them because that's what they do. That's what they do. So I love it. I love it because I can hear through the noise, man. I love it.
Yeah. And getting back, he's an ESPN guy, right? ESPN covers a ton of college basketball, but what do they cover? They cover like Big Ten, ACC, SEC, right? They're not really, you don't see the Mountain West. He's flying a flag for a big team out of a conference that ESPN covers constantly, and that's who they're with, and that's I agree with Browner in a lot of it almost feels like he's trying to sell the crowd on how good this team is, and maybe they really are. We'll see if they're the real deal. If they buzz through this regional, then hats off to them, and they'll probably go on to win it. But I'm with you. I think they're ripe. And I think they're going to come in a little cocky. I said, San Diego State didn't play a first great game, but they played a good second half. They're going to get Furman on the come down, which they did, and play a really good game after getting used to the time zone change. And then they're going to have a nice week off going, and they got the Friday game in Louisville. And guess what? They're going to get a cocky Alabama team, hopefully, that can find themselves in foul trouble as a team and put you in the bonus early because they get greedy and they try to gamble and take care of the basketball, and you'll be at the free throw line.
They are the best rebounding team in all of college basketball, which kind of worries me because that's normally been San Diego State's advantage. And at least in the first two games, it was their advantage. They were a better rebounding team, obviously, than Charleston and Furman. That may not be the case. So if Alabama is being forced to, shoot final shot clock 3 points, then you better make sure you rebound. You better make sure you rebound because you don't want to give them second chance points, and that's where they get easy second chance buckets in the paint.
That can be a smoke and mirror stat too. I mean, you push more possessions.
Miss a lot.
You push more possessions in a game, and you create more possessions in a game. You're going to create more rebounding. When you're a team that plays in the 50s and 60s, you create less possessions in the game, and the rebound, all the stats.
Yeah.
Field goal
I mean, the
attempts,
facts are the
all
facts.
of it.
They have the best record in all of college basketball. They're the fourth top scoring team. They're the best rebounding team. They have one of the best players, if not the best player remaining in the tournament. Like, this isn't an easy feat. Can it be done? We do think that they match up correctly, but let's not get all the facts twisted. Alabama is the best team in basketball for a reason. They score a ton, they rebound a lot, and they got the best player. So this is an easy feat. Can San Diego State do it? If they play an amazing to perfect game, yes, they can do it. It's going to require a lot, but I still think that I'm not looking at them the way I looked at them in that round when they lost to Duke in the round of 32 with like Jahlil Okafor and like Quinn Cook that year. Like, that just seemed like an insurmountable thing. For whatever reason, this doesn't seem that insurmountable. Maybe it's because the way they looked on Saturday. If they had to play Alabama after the Charleston game, I don't think I would be as confident. I don't think I would give them much of a chance, but they look so good against Furman, and they seem to have figured something out that it looks like that can be done. But that's on Friday, 3:30 on TBS. When we come back, Austin Eckler wants out of the Chargers. He is speaking publicly about exactly why he wants out of LA, and he was kind of nice about it, unfortunately, for Charger haters. So we'll jump into that, and we will get to the highlight of the day And Browner, I love The Last of Us. I don't love what's happening in the world right now. I'll explain what I'm talking about in regards to The Last of Us. This is Kaplan and Crew. We are brought to you by Penske San Diego. Go to PenskeSanDiego.com. Tons of dealerships with tons of cars in lots, just like me. I bought mine of Acura Escondido. Check them out, PenskeSanDiego.com. We'll get into Austin Eckler when we come back.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 AM, ESPN Radio, and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Locally owned and operated, not some bland, uninspired, corporate, cookie-cutter radio station crap. We simply say to those stations, Q. The mightier 1090 ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Murray Lampert now brings architectural and interior design to a whole new level for your remodel, ADU, or whole house build.
We're truly a team at Murray Lampert Design, Build, Remodel, and we don't take that lightly.
Visit murraylampert.com.
This is a huge wall. I'm sure it presented some challenges.
You're right, Sarah. And what it was in the model we noticed there it was too much wood. This was supposed to be clad. And with the beautiful stairs and railings, we realized that we need to come up with a different finish. So we used these reglets that are metal with the drywall, and it gave it this grid look that also matches up with the beams.
Wow, that came out beautiful. If you want to see how they conquered more design challenges, check out Our Family, Your Home.
I was injured in a car crash. I had no idea how much my case was worth. I called the Barnes firm.
When a truck hit my son, I had so many questions about his case. I called the Barnes firm. It was the best call I could have made.
Your case is often worth more than insurance offers. Call the Barnes firm to find out what your case could be worth. We will help you get the best result possible.
The Barnes Firm. Injury attorneys. Call 1-800-8-million.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
If you're going to count yourself as a fan of this radio station, you'll need to continuously ask yourself one basic question. Am I listening enough? Pro tip, wives are not a good source for input on this. This is the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio.
When you're adding companion units or ADUs to bring more value to your home, our experience plus our strong relationship with the city makes adding on easier for our homeowners.
At Murray Lampert, we listen to you first, then design and build. Visit murraylampert.com.
For many consumers, sleeping at night should be an easy experience. For many, it's not. There are a number of reasons for that, most notably those that suffer from acid reflux or heartburn. There are also many individuals dealing with various pains or ailments. MedCline is a sleep solution company with our goal to allow people to have a healthy and peaceful night's sleep. And we do that with our therapeutic side sleeping systems. Our patented, clinically studied MedCline relief systems are designed to place an adult in an elevated side sleeping position, which can help them reduce the symptoms or issues they're dealing with. MedCline systems are registered with the FDA, and as a medical product, MedCline systems are qualified for use with FSA and HSA funds. For anyone looking for more information, you can visit medcline.com/sleepbetter.
Welcome to the Super Dentist, where kids are the center of our universe. Serving San Diego for over 25 years, the Super Dentists offer the newest dental technologies to provide safe and comfortable treatments for the entire family. We've reimagined the entire dental experience by creating a fun and engaging atmosphere featuring our heroic dentists and award-winning super crew. Book your appointment now. Extended hours and Saturday appointments available. Call or text 855-GO-SUPER or visit thesuperdentist.com.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM ESPN Radio, SoCal Sports Talk.
Hey, Hoop fans, it's Victor Howell here, host of the NCAA Tournament Special, Breaking Down the Madness. Each week during the tournament, we'll assemble a panel of regional experts that follow your local team all the way to the Final Four. Highlights, predictions, interviews, and much, much more as we break down the madness right here on Your View.
Breaking Down the Madness is brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We make it easy.
We're kicking off this episode of the Mountain Report in South Central Vermont's Golden Triangle, home to 3 fantastic mountains. First, we're starting off our trip at the